Manchester United 3, Crystal Palace 1. The 100% record of Erik ten Hag in pre-season continues. Now, it must be said, it's not the strongest Crystal Palace side you went up against today. They're missing, I think it's like 9 players on this pre-season tour for a variety of issues, but there are still positives to take for Erik ten Hag in this performance. If we go through the game in a bit of a linear fashion, we can look at that first goal for Anthony Martial. 3 goals in 3 now for the Manchester United striker. And to be fair, for a player that we weren't really sure about his future, in the absence of Cristiano Ronaldo, he's doing what you would want him to do. He's scoring goals and he's pressing from the front. His goal he takes very well. Shout out to Tyrell Malacia, starts his first game for Manchester United, switches the ball. Diogo Dalot, which KG has accused him of being un-Amazon Prime-like, no delivery, no assists. He delivers the ball into the box and he gets a goal. So that's a positive certainly there. The next goal in the second half, that opening, say, 15 minutes in the second half is probably the best I've seen Manchester United play on this pre-season tour so far. Donny van de Beek came on for Scott McTominay at half-time. We don't really know as to why, if it was an injury or what have you. But the positive is that Donny, when he has played in this pre-season tour so far, it's been with the second-string side. It's with the youngsters, and sometimes, because of his movement off the ball, he can be quite anonymous. He can go missing. But when he's playing with better quality players, when he's playing as an 8, not as a 10, Bruno was still a 10 in that second half, in the early stages of the second half. He was an 8. He was getting involved. He was getting touches. And that second goal is just a brilliant goal. You're getting touches from Sancho, from Martial to Donny, gives it back to Rashford, slots it in. You'll struggle to find a better Manchester United goal in this pre-season tour, or even going forward. It was excellent. Then the next goal was very unlike Manchester United because it was playing out from the back. Victor Lindelof has the ball at his feet, pressure situation with 2 defenders, manages to find the pass. It goes to eventually Marcus Rashford. Great spin, passes it out to Anthony Martial, gives it to Jadon Sancho, who takes his time, manages to slot it away coolly. That is a fantastic goal by Manchester United, and it's not one we really associate with Manchester United scoring. So 3 goals from that entire front 3 that is looking very fluid. And I think that's a positive for Erik ten Hag. He said it when Flex asked him the question previously. He said, I'm a bit short here when it comes to strikers on the pre-season tour. But nevertheless, that attacking front 3, it looks very fluid. It looks interchangeable. And that is a positive. Again, it's pre-season, so you can't look too much into it. But I'm happy to see players that weren't playing well last season, i.e. Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, and a player like Jadon Sancho was maybe struggling to adjust and adapt a little bit. I'm happy to see them upping their playing levels and giving Erik ten Hag good options to have. And I think that's a real big positive to take out of the game. Now, the goal we conceded, it's not a great goal to concede. David De Gea clearly will be disappointed with that. I think he gets caught in 2 minds, whether to go with his feet or his hands, and he's not really sure what to do, and eventually it goes in. But that happens. David De Gea bails us out so often that we're remiss to really focus too much on one mistake in a preseason game. I thought his distribution and starting position again was very good. And I think Manchester United overall played very well. The second half, once the entire team was changed once again, once the youngsters came on, maybe slightly disappointing that they couldn't really get the foothold in the game that they had previously. I know a lot of people were excited to see Charlie Savage, Zidane Iqbal, and maybe they didn't get the time on the ball they had previously. It felt like Palace actually grew into the game a little bit more as it went on. But once again, Erik ten Hag, it wasn't the perfect game. It certainly wasn't the perfect performance by Manchester United, but there are positives to take. And I think at this point, as the time goes on, we are seeing more glimpses and flashes of how Erik ten Hag wants Manchester United to play. Of course, it won't be perfect because we don't have his entire squad here yet. We've still got Lisandro Martinez to come in at home. We've got Christian Eriksen also to coming as well. It looks like they're going to be coming in for the European fixtures, not for this Australian leg of the tour. Plus, we don't know how Cristiano Ronaldo is going to fit into all of this as well. But there are positive signs, and I think that heading in, as we get closer and closer to the season beginning, it's 3 weeks away, something like that, I'm feeling more positive that we do at least have, from an attacking and offensive perspective, we do have players that seem to be firing. We do seem to have players that are on the same wavelength, and we seem to have players that know how Erik ten Hag wants to play. Now, defensively, you would say people like Maguire that were being scrutinised in the previous game. I think he had an okay game. Wasn't a ton to do. So you could argue maybe he doesn't get caught out in the same way he did against Melbourne Victory. But overall, if he plays well, you have to praise him. And I think him and Lindelof did fine. I think Tyrell Malacia did fine. And I want to shout out Diogo Dalot because Again, there has been a lot of speculation about signing right backs and his assists or lack thereof, or the difference between him and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And again, today I thought he did well. I think a really interesting point going forward is we saw the difference that someone like Donny can make for a Scott McTominay, where Donny does come on. He's maybe got that technical proficiency that McTominay doesn't. Now it's going to be interesting in the next game. Does Donny start or does he stick with someone like McTominay? So that's the interesting point to take into the next game. But overall, again, more positives. The 100% record continues for Manchester United, and here's hoping we continue that in Perth.